as the AHL season is going to end before the ECHL season, are you guys going to be expecting players back? Like South Carolina got a few guys back. Obviously, they're kind of in contention for a playoff spot, whereas you guys are going to be in the playoffs. Can you expect anyone back, like a Lucas Craggs or maybe even a Patrick Harper, to finish the season and then take us into playoffs?
Yeah, hey Keaton, we're at this point, we've still got 21 games left in our season. Some of the AHL teams are, next couple of weeks wrapping up their schedule. So we're just trying to, reach out to these teams and these players to see if they have interest in coming back. Obviously, a different year for us in the fact that our affiliate isn't playing, so they don't have the depth of players that they normally would. They wouldn't be, they're not bringing in as many players as they normally would from collegiate programs either. So it's a very different year for us. We do have a number of good players that have played on our team that are eligible to come back, but at this point, there's nothing certain on what players want to come back. And you have to look at the other side. But we're playing in June. Playoffs is playing till the end of June, so there's that element. Do the players want to play that long, or do they want to go home and potentially just start working out and being ready for next year?
All right. And then navigating the salary cap's been kind of a difficult thing all season long, with guys going up and then having to get a whole bunch of ECHL guys, or then maybe picking up SPHL guys to cover like league minimums and stuff like that. But is that something that's going to be an issue going into the trade deadline for you guys in terms of making that salary work, or is it kind of becoming more easier to navigate?
Yeah, I think, like you pointed out, certainly after the first month of our season, salary cap was a major issue because we had 10 or so guys called up to the AHL. We lost their salaries and we were trying to restock our team. But we've, it's been a conscious effort throughout the course of the year to get it to a spot where we can manage it, bring players off our injured reserve list, and not have our salary cap dictate our lineup, which has been the case throughout the course of this year. So I think we're getting to a good spot where hopefully the salary cap won't be an issue. And the thing that people don't know is you've got 52 opportunities throughout the course of your whole season to make salary changes with players. So it's, it's 2 a week, which isn't much. And we're getting close to that number. So we're just at a point where we've got to be careful just of how we're operating our salary cap. And, but like I said, we're in a good spot now where I don't think it'll affect us in a negative way.
And then this is kind of a question for the both of you. Even though with the Blades at the top of the ECHL, there's been the last few weeks have kind of gotten away from the team in a couple games. And then you have teams like Jacksonville and Greenville who've made a little bit of moves here and there over the past few weeks. Are those moves going to likely influence the moves that you're looking to make at the trade deadline?
Jesse, you want to handle that one?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us as an organization and a staff, I think for us we really only focus on our team, and I think we're conscious of what other teams are doing, but we can only control the guys coming in and out of our locker room. So while those teams are making moves to get better, I think that for us we feel good about our roster, and if a move comes that makes sense for us to that we feel like upgrades our team or is gonna help us, I think between us as a staff we'll certainly look to make that move, but I don't think another team making a move is gonna dictate what we do.
All right. And then going into the deadline, I mean, it's pretty clear that the team has like a formed identity at this point. What do you guys think that identity is, and what do you think needs to be added characteristically to the group maybe at the trade deadline, if at all?
Yeah, Keen, I think, as trade deadlines approach, you look at your roster and you're projecting what it'll look like for playoffs, and do you have all the pieces in place or will be in place to make a long playoff run? I think, like Jesse said, we're happy with how our team's shaping up. We've dealt with a lot of injuries, and we do have a number of players called up. So, right now, we've lost some toughness out of our lineup with Arvin Atwell going down, and Kyle Newber called up. Mason Mitchell's been out with an injury, so we've lost some toughness, which I think was part of our identity. Now we're, I'd say some of the adversity we're going through is testing our group, our group's mental toughness, and that's a good thing. 20 games left to go. We've got to be in some tough situations in order for us to, just be able to withstand those tough moments in playoffs. So, listen, we're an offensive branded hockey team. I think we're a tough hockey team when we get some guys back. We've got great goaltending, and overall, we're a fairly well balanced hockey team.
And you mentioned injuries, and defensively, that's been like a pretty large thing throughout the whole season in terms of turnaround with players going in and out of the lineup, pairs changing. Is that something that is going to be set in stone here with the trade deadline, or is that even something that maybe you look to add to with college free agents and stuff after the deadline?
Jesse, go for that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that for us, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's been a challenging year on the back end with injuries. We've had some key players with Ben Masella, Stephen LeBlanc, Mike Downing, all guys that have spent time at one point or another battling some injuries, and it's been a constant change of pairings and lineups and situations guys have had to play in. I think for us that we're still working on getting to where we want to be, and like Brad said, we're projecting what our lineup's going to look like in the next 20 games. And do we know exactly? Probably not yet. How it's going to shape up. We're still waiting to see how a few guys are going to get healthy and when they're going to be back and available to us. But we've tried to make some additions with bringing in Jordan Sambrook, and Dylan Wolf came in for a spell and unfortunately decided to move on with his hockey career. So, I think we're always looking to actively make improvements if we feel like it makes us better, but we're not scrambling to bring in guys just for the sake of bringing in guys. And as we get healthy, I think our partners will become a little bit more consistent. But we're trying to find that correct group of guys that works best for us still, and we'll get there as these 20 games play out.
And you mentioned the injury front of things with players like Michael Downing and Mike Neville and guys that the Blades fans haven't seen often. Mason Mitchell, one of them too. Are those guys expected back before the end of the season, or is it something where it's just going to have to keep an eye on it going into playoffs?
Yeah, we've consistently had 4 to 5 players on our injured reserve list all season long. It's been probably the toughest year of my career, just in terms of having a consistent lineup. We don't know what's playing into those factors. Is it scheduling? Has it been, so much time off? But regardless, we'll definitely see most, if not all of those guys back before playoffs. And, which will be a nice shot in the arm for our group, just to have some leadership, some physicality, some guys that have been down the tough road before come back and help us out and prepare us for that playoff run.
And then if you guys do make a move on trade deadline day with the COVID season, is there a quarantine period in place before Blades fans can see these guys get into their first game? Or is it kind of, you come in, you get your COVID test, and you wait whatever amount of days before playing?
Yeah, I think league-wide, we've got safety protocols in place. Most, a lot of teams have been able to get vaccinated at this point. And then, we do test twice a week. Every team tests twice a week. So we're confident that when players come in, they're COVID free. They'll obviously be getting tested, and there will be, I think it's a 3 to 5 day quarantine period before they before they participate. So it's, we're trying to be as cautious as possible and protect each other and protect our team and the games. So yeah, it's just use common sense, stick to our safety protocols, and as soon as the player's ready, get them on the ice.
And this question's more specifically for Jesse. With the special teams currently as they stand, is that two groups that you're very confident in and kind of continuing to roll out, or is that something that you may be looking to add tomorrow at the deadline?
Yeah, I mean, I think that for us, our penalty kill has been a pretty consistent group for us throughout the year with guys like John McCarron and Levko Koper and some other guys have on the front end have cycled in and out, but for the most part, it's been fairly consistent. The guys we've been putting out there and a good strength of ours too. So I think we feel good about our penalty kill where that's at. Our power play has been like everybody else's. It's been hot at times, cold at times. I think both Brad and I feel like we're a team that's certainly we're going to win with our 5-on-5 play. I don't think we depend on our power play. So might there be some guys that get opportunities on the power play? Maybe. I think it's for us. I don't think a move is being made for the sake of any special teams play. We're focused on our 5-on-5 game because in the playoffs, that's what's going to win it for you.
And then last question, specifically for Coach Ralph. It's your 5th season now with the team. You've been through these trade deadlines before, even before you were at the Blades, obviously. Year to year, how has your mentality as the state approaches every year kind of changed? And what things do you look for now that you might not have in the past?
I think we're fortunate that we've got a general manager on with the Florida Blades with Craig Brush. Not a lot of teams have that. So Craig's certainly a lot more active, around the trade deadline. And certainly from my end, I think he's educated me on, how to get creative, how to, improve your team if possible, and just the time and the effort put into it. It doesn't always play out the way you want, but I think, just making the effort, trying to be creative in finding ways to improve your team is what I've learned here the last couple of years.
All right, thanks guys. I appreciate the time, and good luck tomorrow with everything that goes down.
Awesome, Keaton. Thanks, pal. Take care.
Thanks, Keaton.